Hello, good morning. Welcome to another episode at Circle of Alchemy Sisters. This is Chapter 3, Episode 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome, my co-host, Kristi Lynn. I'm Dedra, and we're going to pull cards today. There's a lot of energy coming through, so we want to be more organized. So we're not unprepared. So we have a deck of cards, and as we go through this episode, we're going to pull cards so we can stay more organized.
Yeah. So they explained it earlier as like what happens when, let's say there's an empty space in the conversation. To keep going, I'm like scanning all of the channels and picking up whatever energy is the strongest. So if we can do pull a card, they can explain the message that kind of goes along with the card in the best way possible. And what I can see is like it's a line. Like they're like standing in line and they're like waiting for their card. They're like waiting to deliver the message. And I'm also feeling like sometimes the messages won't have anything to do with the card, right? Each card, it represents a different energy or a different lesson they're bringing through. And I don't necessarily think that all the cards are going to relate to the lessons they're bringing through. It's just a trigger. It's just how my channeling works. The cards trigger channels.
Right.
So I am going to start with the first one we got, the base chakra. And I do want to show you guys the deck of cards we're working with. Here we go. It's
just
big.
A mixture.
Yeah, and I don't really shuffle. I just open, and whatever card we get, that's the one I'm going to trigger a channel from. So we're going to start with the base chakra, the root chakra, and I have taught about this in so many videos, so many reels, so many it's being grounded, right? Being grounded and making yourself your own home. Right? That's the biggest deal of staying grounded. You are your own home. So many times, I've said this so many times, we put our base chakra. I know that we have channeled this on a podcast before. Right. I know it's on a podcast. You're putting your base chakra, you're putting your root system into things that make you feel comfortable. Right? So we're putting them into our families and that's what makes me feel safe. That's what makes me feel secure. But you have to realize that we're now moving into the energy of a place where when our world falls apart, we can't go like, expressing all of that chaos and energy to other people, right? So when my world falls apart, and they're talking to me, I know they are. When my world falls apart, the first thing I want to do is go to somebody that makes me feel very comfortable, makes me feel very much home, and tell them every single thing that just happened, right? And I'm getting that energy out of me, right? But what's happening is that chaos and that crazy energy is now transferring in to the person that I am communicating with. So after I get off the phone with them, like we've said many times about energy vampires and energy suckers, that's literally what I've just done. I have transferred all of my chaotic energy because this one thing happened over into the person that I love and I feel at home with and I feel comfort with. So if we are our own base chakra and we're not looking outside of ourselves to make us feel better, we really, like babies, we need to learn how to self-soothe.
Awesome. Yes, absolutely.
I see you resonating fully over here. You're shaking your head. So it is very easy when things happen. We need to get that energy out. Like I need to talk about it. I need to express it. I need to get it out of me. But if we are stable in our root chakra, we know that we can process through this energy on our own. We do not need outside energy sources to make us feel better. Standing in our own and standing and holding strong in our base chakra allows us to keep our energy and not give out chaotic energy. You know, we're we're the humans of the new earth.
Yeah.
We are the leaders of the new earth. If you are a spiritual person and you are listening to all of this and you are really trying, because I have a lot of customers who are texting me and saying like, I love the podcast, and I'm asking them like, what do you guys want to know? Like, I want to teach you in the best way possible. So give me ideas. Tell me what you want to know. And grounding is one of them. They want to know how to be grounded. They want to know how to stay safe. So really, really, really being safe in your own root chakra, that big, bright, glowing red ball sitting at the base of your tailbone. When the chaos happens, when the crazy things happen, and it's not even like, it doesn't even have to be bad, right? Let's say it's really exciting energy and you just like texting so fast and so chaotic, and you send it to that person. All of a sudden they're like, their chest is, their heart is pounding, and they can't breathe, and their head starts to pound, because you're transferring that energy to them. What we need to do is first ground ourselves. Like, whoo, okay, this really exciting thing happened. And oh my God, I want to tell everybody, but I don't want to transfer all this anxiousness over to them, because it's excitement for me, but they're going to feel it as anxiousness,
right.
Mm-hmm. So stand in your power, sit in your space, and really breathe through it. This is how we're creating this base chakra. We're taking a deep breath in through our nose and out through our mouth, and like 3 or 4 times to really slow that breathing down, slow that heart rate down, and process through that emotion that just happened, that shocking thing that just happened. Let's process it through ourselves first into this home base chakra, and really let our bodies feel how it makes us feel. Right? Experience the emotions that come with it. And once we've done that, then we're at a more calm place. And of course, we want to share our excitement with our friends, our family, the people we love. But if we're coming to them after a place of deep breathing, processing through that very exciting thing, really letting it set inside that home base of your own, we're able to relay it in a way that's not so chaotic to our friends and family. Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
A lot of sense.
I mean, it's just a lot of these lessons are, honestly, we're just retraining. We're glitching. Oh, no.
I don't like when it does that.
Okay. It's done. It's done. It's done. Keep an eye on that.
Yeah. For sure.
So a lot of this is retraining and recalibrating our systems. Mm-hmm. As humans, we've been operating at a system for forever, for generations, for thousands of years. This is just how our systems operate. But now we're retraining our systems to really process through the emotions, calm, self-soothing, really staying strong in our heavy bottom root systems. I mean, like really building that strong connection with yourself. So you do not have to search on the outside for people to make you feel better, to validate you. Once you are grounded in your own energy, you don't need the validation. But of course, it is nice to hear your friends and family tell you all the things that you want to hear, right?
Of course, you want to celebrate with them.
Yes, celebration is one thing. Validation, seeking, that's another thing, right? Like, let's celebrate together. That was a perfect word. Let's celebrate together, but let's not send that crazy, chaotic energy to the people that we love before we process it. Let's process it and breathe through it. Even a promotion at work. Something like that. It's so exciting, and you're like, I'm so excited. I'm texting my friends. And then we get that message, and we're like, whoa. It's
like a gut punch.
Yes. And that person we don't know we're doing that, and that's why there's us, conscious people out here saying like, this is what we need to do to make the lives of our family members a little easier, right? We're here to like love people and we're here to support people. We don't want to cause any more chaos in anyone's lives. So if we can really stay strong and rooted and grounded in our energy and deliver the information in a higher consciousness way, we are healing the world. Like that is literally what we're doing. Just these tiny little things, these tiny little adjustments that we make in ourselves are carrying out to the world, right? So yeah, first card, root chakra, base chakra. Do you have anything to say about the root chakra, the base chakra?
So what I do whenever I'm trying to ground myself is I'll go outside. And if I don't know what I'm doing or what's going on with me, maybe I'm a little confused about like the crossroads that I'm at. I'll go and put my hand on a tree. I'll just go outside and just stand there and just put my hand on the tree. Trees are very healing, and you can energy transfer, and I do that, and then it just feels like everything just drains from me. And even if I still don't know what's happening in my life afterwards, it's still feeling better, like everything is going to be okay.
Yes. And
I learned that from TikTok creator Lindsay Moon. And I see her a lot. I'm a follower, and I love her. Like I love her energy. I really connect with her. And she gave that information. I believe it was Wednesday after we had talked about grounding. This video comes to me, and it's about going outside, grounding, put your feet in the grass, which we've been talking about for a while anyways. But she's like, when you just feel like you don't know what to do, just put your hand on a tree.
Yes.
And just, just give it all over.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, hell, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll do that. And I've done that. I've recently been practicing that, and I do feel a lot better. Are we better?
Yeah, well, I don't think we're glitching.
Okay. Sorry, guys. We do have technical
Nothing
issues
with the best
sometimes.
here.
When the energy gets thick in here, sometimes it causes technical issues.
So I have actually been teaching that in readings for a long time. I used to actually tell people to go dig up dirt and grass and leaves and rocks from outside and put them in a bowl on their counter in their kitchen. And just like when you need to be grounded, when you need to come back to yourself, just putting your hand sort of in digging in that dirt.
And sometimes it just feels good. When you're doing that, you don't even realize it, but it just feels good just to do it. That's just the energy working with you. I never really put two thoughts into, why does this feel good? It's just an energy transfer.
Absolutely. It's that beautiful grounding energy. I mean, Gaia, the earth, the ground, it's literally called the ground. It grounds you. It grounds you. Okay, so first card. I'm just going to wait. I do have something, but okay. So the next card we have is, it's from a Starseed deck, and it says Portal. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards wild card. So I'll just let everybody see that. And then I'm going to focus and see what messages are coming through. And what they're saying is if you are one of the people, let's say you're a quote unquote newbie, right? Once you start making deals with the universe, you have to start paying attention to the things that are going on and acknowledge them, right? Now we're talking about, we just had the full moon in Aries, super moon after the eclipse. Okay, so if you are one of the newbies that is now like you're doing releasing and you're doing burnings and you're doing candle work and you're saying the affirmations and you're doing the things and you're telling source, universe, God, your higher self that you are ready to do these things. I just got goosebumps everywhere. Make sure that when the opportunities to take these steps forward, when they come to you, you're taking them, because that, and it goes back to the card, is a portal, right? If you're telling the universe, I am ready for for this. I am ready to move on. I am ready to create a whole new life. And then the universe gives you this small little opportunity that you say, nah, I'm not going to take that. It's too scary. They're saying like, okay, they weren't ready yet. They weren't ready yet. But let's say you do take this. You're like, oh, okay, I just did this full moon ceremony. I just did this release. I've been creating my life with my words. And all of a sudden this thing is presented to me. I'm going to take the chance, right? That is now a portal. It's a timeline jump, right? You were operating right here. You said, I want to get out. So you jumped out and now you are over here. And it's up to you to keep continuing to make those choices. You're not going to instantly fall back into the old life. That's not how it happens. You make a wrong choice. You come to a tower moment, right? Now, I think I'm going to explain what tower moments are to me, how I visualize tower moments. A tower moment is when you are given a choice. You can take the choice that you've always taken, or you can take a choice that you've never taken before. Let's say you take the choice that you've always taken and it gets you back to the place where you've always been. That tower crumbles on top of you and you land amongst the rubble and you have to sort of pick yourself out of that rubble. Let's say you're presented with the choice to do something else and you take that. It's almost like the tower falls and you land on top of the tower. So once you land on top of the tower, that's the universe's signal to say, okay, she's ready. He's ready. They are ready. So your choices literally are portals, timeline jumps to the life that you are creating with all the ceremonies, with all the rituals, or the words that you are speaking into the universe. So make sure you're paying attention to the portals that are available for you if you are ready to change your life.
Okay.
You got very serious.
I was thinking, but I don't know how to ask the question. It might come out jumbled. So are tower moments always like like opportunities to change the cycle you're in, or can it be like other things like a reconstruction of your life, like sudden change that feels like detrimental to your life?
Ask me again. I'm sorry.
Let's hope I can ask it the same way.
Maybe ask one question at a time.
Okay. Does tower moments, are they always, do they always present themselves as an opportunity to change the cycle you're in?
Maybe not to you.
Okay.
They might not look like that to you. They might not look like big life-changing things. Sometimes it's the little tiny adjustments that we're making that open us up to a whole new world. Some of them, yes, big opportunities that you've been presented with maybe for a while and you've been too scared to take. Boom, you take that tower moment, your whole life changes. But also there's little ones, little daily habits. Every day there's probably one tower moment that you can make a slight transfer into.
Do they always present themselves in a way that you would recognize it?
No. Sometimes tower moments happen and I react and I'm like, oh, I had another option. I reacted in the way that I've always reacted and I should have done this. So, and again, that's what I'm saying. Like, just because you miss a tower moment and make the wrong choice, quote, doesn't mean that your whole life is going to go back to the old ways. It's when you continue over and over and over and over again to make the wrong tower choices. That's when you stay in the old circle.
Okay. So tower moments can look differently for each individual.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tower moments are not always big, giant, monumental moments. You have tiny little tower moments every single day, whether you choose to cuss out that coworker that you don't like, or buy a beer from the store, or, just tiny little things that you know that you shouldn't do, but you're choosing to do it anyways. That's a tower moment.
Like choosing to buy a vape when we shouldn't.
What? Listen, okay? Listen. Yes, you're right. Yes.
Well, the reason why I say
the moment, the choice was either cigarettes or a vape.
I've been working really hard on stopping that. I don't have very many addictions left. I guess addictions can be anything down to caffeine, coffee. But I've been working really hard on stop vaping, and when I went through the recent developments with what we talked about this morning, I'm like, okay, I have to have something. I don't need a crutch, but I want a crutch.
Yeah, and it's us self-soothing ourselves. Like, we have a lot of energy and we have a lot of anxiety and things. Life presents itself to us and we need to self-soothe ourselves. Instead of learning how to ground ourselves and really self-soothe, we're reaching to outside sources.
Yeah.
Totally a tower moment.
Still learning, still processing, still trying. You're learning every day. And eventually I will get to a point to where I don't need it. But I'm learning how to self-soothe. And I did it with an outside source.
Yeah. But you're aware of it. Awareness is a big thing. We have to be aware of the things that we're doing. Okay, so sometimes we're going to sum up this card. Sometimes we're presented with opportunities, options, choices, tower moments that open timeline portals to us, where we can skip a timeline, where we can open a portal and go in somewhere new. It's like you're going down a hallway that doesn't have any doors. It's just the same never-ending hallway over and over and over again. And all of a sudden, there's a door. Are you going to open the door, or are you too scared to open the door?
Okay, so that brings up a very good subject that happened the other day. Can you literally go to bed and then wake up on a completely different timeline?
100%. It happens to me all the time. 100%. I go to bed feeling one way. I have a conversation with my team, and I do some sleeping, and I wake up, and even though I can remember the day before and how I felt, that energy just doesn't exist in me anymore, And so I'm like, boop, timeline hop. Now I'm in this great, beautiful place where the grass is green and the flowers are bright. Yesterday, I was in this dark, cloudy area where I couldn't see. I couldn't see the sun. I didn't know it was going to come out. And then all of a sudden, boom, today, I'm like, the grass is green, the flowers, and this problem that I had yesterday, it's still there and it still exists, but it just doesn't really feel heavy to me anymore. I keep getting goosebumps. So these are big things.
Yes, they are. They mean something.
Yeah.
I feel like I went to bed and my life was perfect, or at least I was very comfortable. And that's the key word, comfortable. And I woke up and then everything was a mess. Mm-hmm. And it was like, what the heck happened between me going to bed and waking up, and now I'm on a different timeline where everything is just, in chaos.
Yeah. Unsettled. Mm-hmm. Unsettled.
I like that word. Yes.
Yeah. It's like you're waiting for the dust to settle. Something poof, happened, and now all the dust is settling, and you got to ease into this new timeline that doesn't feel comfortable to you because you weren't on it yesterday.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Right, perfect.
Do you want to pull?
Yep, sure. Let's see.
Enlightenment. Okay, so we have number 19, Forest Temple, Enlightenment. Okay. So the energy that I feel in this one, now we talked about this before we started recording, but I did feel the fairies here. Mm-hmm. And I do feel the fairies coming through with a message. Okay. Enlightenment, they're saying like you can be enlightened at any moment, right? Like the veil. Okay. And they're also saying the veil is so thin right now. It's so thin right now. There's so many energies that are literally just trying to get our attention. Okay. Like they're there from the other side of the veil and they're just like waving at us and they're like, they want to interact with us and they want to have fun with us, but they know that there's certain amounts of us that are not ready for that, right? So to some, the veil is really thin and you might be seeing things out of the corners of your eyes, right? They're saying like once you start seeing the things out of the corners of your eyes, that's the first clue you have that you are becoming enlightened, right? It's like the veil is thinning, the veil is dropping, and you are now out of your peripheral vision able to see things because you're not trying to control it. It's just natural. It's happening. The things that are in front of our eyes, the veil is a little thicker because our eyes are trained to believe certain things. But these over here, they're not as strong muscles. They're not as focused, right? So our peripherals will be able to see. So the fairies are saying if you are starting to see things out of the corners of your eyes, that's the first clue that the veil is thinning. So they're also saying, try to... This is so funny, and they're making me feel I can't stop smiling as I'm channeling them. But they're making me feel like make your eyes lazy. Like don't be so focused, right? Don't be so focused on trying to see something. Make sure your eyes kind of go relaxed. Sometimes if you are looking for evidence of things that do not exist in this realm, make sure to relax your eyes sometimes and don't be just so like focused. I'm staring at that tree and I am going to see a fairy. They're like, no, just sit there and relax those eyeballs and even close them sometimes and you'll feel something. Open them slowly and maybe you'll see something out of the corner of your eye move.
You know, it's funny that you bring up this subject because once you mentioned like focusing on the tree, I'm going to see a fairy, like I'm focused on seeing a fairy. There's times when I walk in my room or I walk past my room and I feel like I see a head sticking out of the fairy house. And then I turn around and I like look and I'm like looking at it real hard. Like, am I seeing what I think I saw? Like sometimes I feel like it seems like I see one standing in there or like hanging out on the outside of it. And then I go to really focus. I'm like, am I really going to see them this time? But it catches my eye a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really funny. That is funny. Well, that's why they're saying that, right? They're like telling you. We just talked about this. Like anytime I'm channeling, you're like, I was just thinking about that the other day. They're talking to me. I know this.
Yeah.
Okay, so enlightenment, the fairies came through and they're saying just like pay attention to the things that you're seeing on the outside. Over here, don't try to focus so hard. We're there, and the veil is very thin. Not only is the veil thin because of what month it is, like October is known for the veil to be thin, but they're also saying there are literally so many energies penetrating the Earth's atmosphere that the veil is it's disappearing. It's disappearing, and the more you can relax and ground, the more enlightenment is available for you. And that's why she's saying this enlightenment is going exactly with this base or root chakra. She's saying once you're grounded and calm and just like in this peaceful state, the veil has so many more things to offer you. The thinning of the veil has so many more because when we're like operating in this very hyperhuman, it's a hyperhuman energy. It's like we're always fight or flight. We're always operating in that fight or flight where we don't have enough energy to sort of expand ourselves. We're focusing it all on all the things that we're worried about, all the things that we're stressed about. But once we're starting to learn how to really just ground ourselves and sink into the Mother Gaia energy, the universal energy at home with ourselves, being completely comfortable and happy with who we are, that veil drops and there's so many more enlightenment opportunities. And she's saying enlightenment can come in forms of ideas. Right? It's not always just about like seeing something that doesn't exist. There are so many beautiful higher consciousness, creative ideas floating around in the universe for you to grab onto. Like, we're sending you all the energies that are here for the forward advancement of humanity. They are sending through and dropping through all of these beautiful, like, higher consciousness ideas. So when you get one, it's almost as if your human would be like, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy. I could never do that. Why did I get that idea in my head? But if you're in the path of enlightenment and you're moving towards what we call New Earth, these ideas won't sound so crazy to you, because you're understanding that we are moving forward into a whole new earth, into a whole new energy. We're not staying in the old earth where we've been before. We are the enlightened ones. We are carrying the ideas and the consciousness of new earth forward. So, I say all the time, you don't have to be a psychic or a reader or anything like this to receive and live in the new earth. We need nurses. We need doctors. We need, real estate agents. We need all of these very third dimensional ideas and jobs. But we can go at them in a way of higher consciousness that we've never been before. You can still have a 3D physical. Not everybody is going to be a reader. Not everyone's going to be, an astrologist. There's real jobs that need to be had. But going at these new jobs in a higher way of thinking is the way of the new earth. We don't want you to quit your jobs and be, a psychic reader or a channel. We want you to remain in an industry that fulfills you and makes you happy, but we want you to go at it in a higher way of consciousness so it works better for you.
Absolutely.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That was a really good message.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
I love when I get to bring things through that I've never thought of before. Mm-hmm. I've never considered, we got to keep all these 3D jobs. We got to keep the world running with all these 3D jobs. I literally was like, maybe we just need all these higher enlightenment jobs. No, we need we need those third dimensional jobs to keep the earth running. But yeah, we got to go at them with such a different point of view to change the energy and transfer into new earth. I love that so much. That was a great message.
It really was. All right. Can I do another one?
Yeah. I love this so much. Okay, so we have communicate with your deity. Okay. So, we're just gonna, I feel like I have something on my, sorry. So the message that I'm getting, and now this does feel like the Pleiadians coming through. I feel like that's the energy that's bringing through the answer to this question. They're saying, we don't mean communicate with us necessarily. You don't have to talk to the Pleiadians. You don't have to talk to extraterrestrials. You don't have to talk to goddesses. But you can, let's say you're an atheist, right? You don't even believe in God. You don't even have to talk to God. You can communicate with yourself, right? With your higher self. Again, we're moving towards higher consciousness and enlightenment. So if you want to get inspiration, but you don't necessarily align with any outside sources, you don't have to. You can literally just communicate with your higher self, but you also have to be able to recognize when you're communicating with your higher self in a higher state of consciousness. Higher consciousness always comes with compassion and understanding, and never comes with judgment. It doesn't come with animosity. It comes with compassion and understanding. So that's one way you can tell that you are communicating with a higher consciousness. It always has compassion and understanding. It will never contain judgment. Okay. So that's how also you can tell maybe if you're working with your higher self or your ego, because once you start creating this whole new higher consciousness, even though the ego is not the enemy, it's the way that you've learned to behave, to be protected. Your ego just wants to protect you. It just wants to keep you safe from all the things that have happened to you. Your ego knows that you've been through all of these toxic things. So your ego is here to just really sort of protect you from those things. But your soul, your higher consciousness, your higher self is here to say, no, let's try something new. We have been operating like this for a very long time, and it's not serving us anymore. Be aware that your life is not serving you anymore. It's really not working for you anymore. And that's really what our lives should be doing. They should be working for us. Our lives should be going in a manner that is just making us better every single day. But our ego is like, nope. This is how you should be. You've always been like this. It's safe. We've created this very safe energy for you to live in because of all the stuff you've been through. Let's keep living over here. But your higher consciousness is like, no. I have this very beautiful life written in the stars for you. And it's really up to you to communicate with that higher consciousness and get to know that higher consciousness so that you can really live your life the way that you deserve to live your life. You don't deserve to live in the life your ego has created for you. That's just keeping you stuck in cycles. Again, I don't want to make a enemy out of the ego. It really is. It's a part of us, and it really does try to keep us safe. But this higher consciousness over here is trying to train the ego to be like, no, let's take some chances. Let's come to a higher place of thinking with understanding and compassion, and let's really move forward into the life that you deserve to live in. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be healthy. You deserve to have joy in your life. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to be loved for exactly who you are. You deserve to go to work every single day and enjoy your life. You deserve all of these things. You're just stuck in what your ego has been protecting you and creating for years and years and years. So communicate with your deity was the card. And if you don't believe or want or are scared to communicate with anything else, you can at least communicate with your soul.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So I want everybody to start there, right? You can start there. How do I communicate with your soul? With my soul. Talk to it. I'm talking to my higher consciousness. I'm talking to my higher self. What messages do you have for me? And when you start to have these feelings and these thoughts, pay attention to them, right? Yeah. Especially when it comes to forgiving yourself for your past decisions, having compassion and understanding that you were in a low place and you were unhealthy and you were unhealed. When those messages start to come through, instead of the messages of I'm embarrassed, I'm ashamed, I'm going to push that away so I don't have to think about it. You're talking to your higher self when you're feeling compassion and understanding about situations that you have maybe put yourself in before that you're ashamed of. You didn't know. You weren't enlightened then, but you're enlightened now. So have love and compassion and understanding for yourself. The messages are so good today. I love it.
I do too.
Do you feel
that made me feel so good because that's exactly what my conversations look like, sound like, I literally look at it as like talking to your friend.
That's what it is. Your higher self is so in love with you. Like your higher self loves you so much. Otherwise, they wouldn't have chosen this body to come into, right? You were chosen, this body, you, Dedra, as a human, were chosen specifically by this higher self to live out the life that they had planned for you. From a baby, they wanted to be you. Your higher self wants to be inside of you. They love you. They love operating and communicating with you. They're just saying like, don't pay attention to the messages that this ego, this very damaged, bruised, injured little girl or little boy inside of you, injured child inside of you is allowing you to live. Don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Let's really come to grips and come to terms with starting to heal. Starting to heal. You can't move forward in any relationship with the past traumas of previous relationships, right? And that goes for yourself as well. You can't create a new relationship with yourself and evolve if you're still carrying the trauma of the past relationship with yourself. You're not that person anymore.
Beautiful.
That's really good.
It is really good.
I'm so excited for the messages coming through. It's so peaceful and loving and kind in here today.
It's flowing really good.
Yes. Yeah. So this probably will be how we do sessions from now on our podcast. Like I really like it being organized like this. And again, if anybody has any suggestions or if they want to know how to do certain things specifically, if you want me to go like step by step in how to do certain things, please let us know, right? Because we can do a ritual on camera. We can show you how to do candle work. We can show you how to do a burning ceremony. We can show you how to connect with your ancestors.
So really, when you're doing ceremonies, since we just brought that up, it's not like a how-to process as far as like there's only one set way to do things.
No.
What it is to give you ideas, and then you develop your own ritual.
Intentions are everything.
Yeah.
Intentions.
I never want anybody to feel like they can do something wrong.
Never.
But if you need ideas on how to get started, we can definitely do a ritual or a ceremony of like how we do things. And then when you're comfortable, you develop your own.
Yeah. And that's why I share so many of my rituals and my ceremonies on Facebook, because I do want people to know that this is just something that I do, right? Like this is me, and it's not even necessarily me desiring to connect or communicate with the universe. It's like I'm bringing these things to my awareness. These things that I want to change about my life and about myself, I'm now bringing them to my awareness. And I burn the paper to symbolically release it. And then when the opportunities come up for me to do these things that I've really brought attention to, I'm paying attention to them now instead of just like walking over them or glazing over them like I normally would have before.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just about improving yourself as a whole.
Yeah.
You know, who do you want to be tomorrow? It's like, what about yourself today do you want to release to make yourself a better version of you tomorrow? You know, I'm always working on advancing my soul. growing, evolving, learning what I need to learn. And, some of them you learn for a while before you finally, exit out of that cycle, But yeah, these messages are definitely beautiful. I love the peace in here. It feels like we're talking to like teachers.
They are
parents,
ancient, wise teachers. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, let's do another card. I'm just going to let you do it. Breath of the cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. Breath of the cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. I don't really know what that means, but we're just going to see what kind of message comes with it.
Okay, so you heard it right now. You see the
face. I have no clue what that means at all.
So let's wait for it.
Okay, so the word that really stuck out when I did read it was micromanaging. Okay, and that is that's going back to when we were talking about it left my mind. Micromanaging. We don't need to necessarily plan out everything that needs to happen in our lives, okay? We have a lot of people out there that their egos are trying to protect them because they have experienced a lot of chaos in their life. So they have learned that if I keep absolute control of every single minute, second of my day, I plan this and I plan this and I plan this, and I do not have time for anything outside of that. They're saying like you're going to miss all of the beautiful gifts that the universe has to give you, your higher self, whatever, right? So surrender is coming to mind. We were talking about surrendering earlier before we started recording, and that really is a big one. And what I really am seeing is like a body floating in the sky and you're just letting go, right? Like you're hanging from ropes. And
it's funny because that's exactly the pictures I've seen. Just like you're just hanging from the sky.
Okay, that's so funny.
So it's funny how they use that interpretation.
I have goosebumps again.
Yeah.
Okay, so once we surrender, we're not trying to control everything that's going on in our lives. We have the opportunities to do things that the universe wants us to try. Our higher self wants us to try, right? And they're also saying, but that doesn't come without intentionally creating energy. Mm-hmm. There's a difference between control and creating. Like with my intentions are to live a certain kind of life. I want to live this elevated, conscious life. I want to fall in love. I want to have a good day. Whatever your intentions are, right? But don't try to control how that happens. You're setting the intentions out into the universe. We're speaking the things that we prefer to happen, and then we're waiting for the universe to deliver those things instead of trying to bring it to us as fast as possible.
So beautiful, because there's so many times that you could be like, well, I'm just going to use myself as an example, that I set the intention to surrender. I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of controlling everything. I'm tired of feeling like I have to make things happen. And I'm like, just like the full moon. I'm like, I surrender. I'm tired. I let go. Mm-hmm. I give it all to you. Take me where you want me to go. I trust you. Mm-hmm. And but then it's like a few minutes later, it could be a few minutes later, it could be the next day, you almost sink right back into that control state again. And I fight with myself a lot with like, no, I said I surrender. I don't want to control. I don't know why I have a hard time fully giving it up.
It's our conditioning. It is our conditioning. You lived a traumatic life for a very long time. You've only been living a conscious life for, say, 2 or 3 years? But you lived for 40 years before that unconsciously. So it's going to take, like, this does not happen overnight. It is. And let's take the spirituality out of it, because I want to speak to people. I don't care if you believe in this stuff, but if you take the words that I'm saying, like intentionality, if you just put intentions into the things that you're doing, if you're just changing the way that you're speaking about things, your life will change. It's not about spirituality and connecting to the universe. It's about changing your life with your intentions. So just intentions. So intentions, right? When I put my bracelets on, I know that carnelian is for work ethic in my head, right? That's my intention. I know that amethyst is for peacefulness. And I know that tiger's eye is for self-confidence. So that when I put these on, those are the intentions. Again, it doesn't matter if carnelian doesn't really provide you with the energy of hardworking, fast movement. It doesn't matter. My intention for this carnelian, when I put it on, is that it provides me with work ethic, right? This amethyst provides me with relaxation, calm, because I say it does. And when I put on these things, they all have very specific intentions that I desire to create. So that's how intentions work. I am not now cooking dinner because I have to. I am intentionally cooking dinner so that I can provide nourishment to my body and the people I love. That's an intention. I'm not getting dressed because I have to look a certain way. I'm now intentionally placing clothes on myself that make me feel great.
Absolutely. And that's beautiful, because I like the way you said that. A lot of people, if you come at them with these things and say, this is my spiritual beliefs, they're going to be like, oh, I have to be spiritual to do all these things. You absolutely do not. It's just having the mindset of wanting to make your life better, creating a better life for yourself. Just leave religion, spirituality, all that stuff out of it. You have to believe in some kind of higher power.
You don't.
Leave that out. Just wanting to be a better version of yourself is all it takes.
Yes. And I think I'm not sure if there's anybody out there that doesn't believe energy is, I'm sure there's people that don't believe energy is real, but like, it's scientifically proven. I mean, at this point, energy is real.
Yeah.
Our bodies give off a certain energetic resonance, a certain vibration, a certain frequency, electricity. So if we're taking that frequency and instead of just letting it spew out and go all over the place, we can take that energy and we can focus it on one thing or another thing and watch that thing literally come into our lives. It's all about intention. Yeah. Again, people who are just now waking up and trying to be enlightened, I'd say that the first thing you start doing is probably smudging, right? Like you want to smudge all the evil, nasty spirits out of your house. Perfect, beautiful. The intention of the sage is the same thing as the intention of my hands. I can go through my house. I do not need sage. I do not need Palo Santo. I do not need any of these things. It's the intention. I can take my hands, I can take my words, I can take my energy, and I can do the same exact thing. Yes, it's nice to have these rituals. Like, as humans, I love a good ritual. I love burning sage. I love burning Palo Santo. But we do not need it. Our intentions are everything. If I'm taking the energy that's flowing out of my body and I am directing it around my house to cleanse the energy, it's doing the same exact thing, if not better, right? If not better.
Yeah.
Because it's coming from here. It's coming from you. Just make sure you're not in a bad place. We don't want to sage when we're feeling bad or we're feeling angry or feeling fear. We want to sage when we're feeling calm and collected and beautiful and peaceful and happy. Don't sage because you're scared. Okay?
Oh, no.
I don't want you to live in fear of being enlightened and deep, dark, evil demons are coming to get you. I want to bring up, so there is this lovely woman who I've met. She works at a local shop. And the energy when I go in there is just, I love the shop. I love the shop. I love her. I think she's a beautiful, wonderful human being. I mean, I enjoy her, right? But we get so focused sometimes on protecting ourselves. We don't want anything evil. We don't want, protect ourselves. She asked for a reading. I didn't get to read her because I just don't like readings on the spot. It puts me in a bad place for the rest of the day. Like, a reading on the spot, it's going to open my energy and it's going to make me feel anxious and I wasn't prepared. I just don't like readings on the spot. But because she opened me up, she was like, hey, do you want to do a reading? And I was like, oh yeah, sure. Right. I opened up and I could feel all of these weird energies. Okay. She's like a lovely human being and I like her so much, but being around her feels uncomfortable. Like the weirdest, awkward energy. She's so nice. She's so sweet. She's funny. But once I was exposed to that, I was so uncomfortable. I was just so uncomfortable. And it came to me that I feel as if she does witchcraft. Beautiful, lovely. I love witchcraft. But I think that she puts so many protective layers on herself that it is actually repelling people away from her. She's so protected. She's literally just so many protective spells and everything she's doing is all about protection that it is literally putting her in this bubble of sending people away. And I don't think that she's intentionally doing it. But because we're so programmed to be fearful of so many things. I mean, I'm a channel. I know that I'm protected because I'm so close with my team and because I don't believe anything negative could ever get me. My intentions are to move forward in a very positive, compassionate understanding, and that protects me enough. But if I were to keep putting, this is for protection, and this is for protection, and this is for protection, and this spell is for protection, I'm going to burn this candle for protection, you're eventually so layered up that you might be missing out on opportunities because you're so covered. So while I do believe in protecting yourself energetically, I do believe in that. When you're going in somewhere to Walmart, when you're going to somewhere you don't really feel comfortable, absolutely putting a protective layer around yourself just to regulate your breathing and your emotions. But when you start entering into the world of enlightenment, where we're just so programmed to be so fearful of so many things. And I don't want people to exist in that program of you have to be so fully protected, you know?
Absolutely. That was probably one of my starting points of first coming into a waking up, feeling feeling fearful and wanting to protect yourself from negative energies. But as you advance and grow into it, that fear goes away because you become so connected with the divine and you raise your vibration that you don't fear that anything could harm you anymore.
No, I don't fear many things.
No.
I don't even...
I'm not even scared of the dark anymore.
Yeah. Like locking my car for fear someone's going to steal it.
I don't.
If someone steals my car, I will automatically know that this is for me in some... And it locks out that fear. Mm-hmm. If you realize that every single thing that happens to you is for you, your life starts to transform.
Yes, absolutely. The only thing I think I need to protect myself from is protecting my own energy. Protecting my own energy whenever I go around people, places, or things.
Oh, yeah. And if I would have said before I walk into that place, because I don't do that. I don't do that on a regular basis, just like protect myself, because I feel protected. I feel guided. I feel like I have this beautiful angelic team surrounding me at all times. And as if I'm living life according to compassion and understanding and love and standing in my power, I don't feel like I need to be as protected because I'm in that vibration of higher consciousness. But I do feel like if probably the next time I walk into that store, I probably will put a little bubble around myself because that energy in there is just so intense.
Yeah.
So intense.
So like going to grocery stores, I feel like sometimes if it's going to be chaotic, it's full, I need to protect my energy.
Put a bubble up.
Just because it gives me so much anxiety or anxiousness, you know, feeling energies. If I'm going places where there's going to be a lot of people, like we're going to the Renaissance Fair this weekend in Kansas City. I feel like being around a lot of people, I have to be aware of my surroundings so I can protect myself.
Yes.
Because I don't want to feel drained and,
I
don't want to feel overstimulated.
Right.
So I'll protect myself in those cases. But other than that, I don't really think about it. I feel good all the time. So I'm going to use one example, and it's probably to a fault, but we had a major storm a few months ago where we had tornadoes. Tornadoes were all around us, and I think that was also during the time of the flood, and we had to move your camper.
Yes, very scary.
So I was in bed asleep, and I don't wear clothes at night, So I'm in bed, I'm asleep, and my husband is actively like keeping an eye on the weather. Well, the sirens go off, and he's like, "Hey, we need to go to the basement. There's been a tornado spotted on the ground. We need to go." And I said, "I am not going anywhere. I am sleeping. I did not come in this world to be taken out by a tornado." And I went to sleep and I had no fear. And he's like, "I don't care if you think that you are going to be safe. You still need to protect yourself." I'm like, "I am protected. I'm protected right here in my bed." And it angered him so much at that time because he's a safety nut. And I just know. You
slept so peacefully.
I did.
And he was up all night in his chaos and tired the next day.
But it's okay because I did not feel like I was in danger. I did not feel like I needed to protect myself. Literally nothing happened. It skipped over us, and I'm like, see, just sometimes, yes, there may be times, but I would feel if I needed to protect myself. I would feel if I'm in danger.
You would. Your body is, once you're open to that enlightenment and you're living in that fifth dimensional energy, you really will feel when things are about to happen. You really will. It's just really being aware of it. And obviously safety first. We're stubborn when it comes to that. Us spiritual people, like, I'm safe, I'm protected, but literally a tornado could come sweep our house away. Yeah. So I there's a fine line. I don't know where the line is, but I had the same thing happen to me during those same storms. I was freaking out. I live in a camper and I have my 15-year-old daughter who lives with me. So I safety. I want to be safe, right? So I was freaking out. And I'm like, should I go to the storm shelter? Should I do this? What do I need to go somewhere? Do I need to get in my car and drive? Like, do I need to do anything? And then, this was before I even had a car. So that wasn't even an option. I couldn't get in my car and go anywhere. I could walk to the storm shelter or, I don't know. But, the way I got through it was I thought back to my whole day. There was 0 opportunities for me to leave my house. I did not have a car. No friends texted me and said, hey, do you want to go here? Hey, do you want to do this? Hey, do you want to come do this? There was 0 opportunities for me to leave my house and go somewhere else. So that made me feel like I'm protected. There's nothing's going to happen. Now, I did absolutely send a bubble out, right? I put a bubble around my camper. I put a bubble around my trail, the RV park. I put a bubble around the town. You know, I'm not going to waste my energy being scared. I'm going to use that energy that I have to protect the people around me, the town that I live in. I mean, like, you can put a bubble. That's how I start. I start with small.
Right.
Right? I put a bubble around my camper. Then I moved. I put a bubble around the RV park. Then I put a bubble around the town. And then you can put a bubble around the state. Then you can put a bubble around the country. You know, like, you can do these things. Those are your intentions. And we're just like literally focusing that beautiful protective energy around something. There's a lot of, there's people I follow on YouTube. She's an astrologist and she has meditations on her channel where when she's live that everyone who's watching in the live is focusing their energy on something specific. So the whole giant collective, thousands of people are putting this beautiful energy towards one specific thing. And that is how we get things done. Not by worrying and stressing about all the chaos that's going around us, but taking that energy and it's energy alchemy.
Yeah.
You know, taking that anxiety and transforming it into something more beautiful and more protective and more useful. Energy, anxiety, panic, that doesn't help anything.
No, you just create more of the same. Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Time's up.
I was checking to make sure we were still good. And
Yeah.
it looks like the recording is going good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we went way past, we went 6 minutes past an hour. So this, I love this episode. It feels very peaceful. It feels
just calm, organized. I like that. I don't feel so anxious, like I'm just in a disarray in my head. Great idea.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah. I'm sure it was divinely inspired. I'm sure it was floating out in the ethers and I just grabbed onto it.
You know, I was thinking, I felt very insecure over last Wednesday's video. And I started to think, because, you know, like the talk with your higher self, we don't come with judgment and stuff, you know, we look at things that we learned. So that spoke to me because that was like kind of like a detailed explanation of what I did with myself whenever I was feeling anxiety and insecurity over last Wednesday's video. I felt a complete mess. And then it brought me to, and I said, it's okay. I told myself that it's okay to have a bad day sometimes. And then I thought about you and I'm like, you know, there's been times where Kristi had off days, you know, and it's okay if we have an off day. What did you learn from it? You know, it doesn't mean that you're not good at what you do. You just had an off day.
Yeah.
And maybe it was the energy, us first coming back together.
It was chaotic last Wednesday. Wednesday's episode was very chaotic.
Yeah.
A lot of good messages came through, but it did feel very chaotic. I felt like there was a lot of pressure. Like, we're back for the first time in a long time. We hadn't done it. We don't practice.
Absolutely. Because it was literally the first time we got back together.
Yeah. After months.
So I'm like, you know, I had to show compassion. I'm like, it's okay. I felt like I couldn't formulate a thought. And that was really difficult for me. So it put more pressure on me, which caused more thought, you know, issues, not being able to think things through. And I started to be very rough on myself.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But I didn't call you. I didn't involve you in it. I'm like, I can work through this. And I did by talking to myself, crying a few times because you have to release emotion.
You do.
Yeah. So, and I'm like, it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to have off days. And it doesn't have to be with, being on social media. It could be literally over anything in your life. We all have days where it just feels like things are just going wrong. And then if you stay in that place where you're just giving yourself hell over it.
It's like a snowball.
It's just like a snowball. Then things just keep happening. And then the next day I woke up and then the other things happened. So let me give a little shout out to Kristi. She recently helped me with something that she hasn't been practicing. She did one reading on a pet. And I asked her after Wednesday's podcast, I said, do you read animals? And she's like, yes, I do. So what had happened?
But I had only done it one other time before.
So she was not confident.
I was not confident.
So let me give you a little background story. My cat was having issues with eating. She wasn't wanting to eat. So we thought maybe it's a food issue. She was tired of eating her dry food. So what can cats not, give up? Well, canned food. They love that stuff. So we bought some canned food and my husband and I went on our vacation. And I didn't think anything was wrong with her. I just thought maybe she wanted something different. So we went on our vacation. And while we're on our vacation, my son messaged me and said, our cat is not eating. And she's not wanting it. And I'm like, oh, my God, something's probably wrong with her. So we get back from vacation and then we get together for the podcast. And I'm like, oh, what a perfect opportunity. I'm going to see if Kristi can read animals. I can, figure out what's going on with my cat. So she picks up my cat and she's allergic. And so thank you for, sacrificing. But she picked up my cat and she's like, liver. And
so I was hearing in my head, what I was hearing was fatty liver disease over and over and over again. But in my mind, that's a human thing. So I didn't know that cats could have fatty liver disease. So I just said liver.
And that's exactly what she had. Fatty liver disease. There's many liver diseases, but that is the exact one that she had. That's the exact one. That wasn't the only thing going on with her. She was also losing blood somewhere, and her body was making immature red blood cells. Her body. There was 2 issues going on with her, and they didn't know what was causing it. And I'm gonna try not to get emotional, but to sum up the story, we had to put her down because there was nothing that could be done.
And I did tell you also she was ready to be put down.
Yeah.
Did I not?
Yeah.
After the fatty liver disease, I said she's ready to go. Yeah. She's ready to go.
So, and that was very, very difficult. But she was accurate right on the dot with what was wrong with her. And I'm so grateful because I didn't want her to suffer. I didn't know if I should take her to vet. I didn't know. Vets are very expensive. But luckily, I will never regret doing it. But it wasn't so expensive that I can't, take care of that bill. Yeah.
That was definitely a big moment in my career.
Yeah.
I know it was a horrible situation for you, but for you to have so much confidence in me, like you always have the most confidence in me.
That's the one thing I will never not have in you, because everything that you have ever said to me, everything, just all of our conversations, there's not been one thing that you have gotten wrong.
My head. So I am adding animal communication to, because now that I think about it, after I thought about it, I read my dog all the time. Like my daughter's dog, literally all she has to do is anytime she wants anything, she just comes to me and she looks at me and she sits down in front of me. I know exactly what she wants. Exactly. So I did add animal communications to the list of things that I do, and that just proves that energy is energy.
Yes. And it does not limit itself. So I want to let all the pet owners, pet lovers out there know that if you are struggling with your pet, maybe something is going on and you don't understand, reach out to Kristi. She really did help me. It was a sad, painful ending. Actually, it's not.
And
ending. She's still with me.
I actually
know it.
channeled her after, like when you texted me and told me, I could feel her energy, and that's what I told you. She's so grateful. She's so grateful that you chose to. I mean, she was ready. She was ready, and she felt very, very grateful for you. So it was a beautiful energy exchange. And you don't have to feel guilty now about not being there when she was put to sleep. She doesn't have any sort of animosity.
See, now, how would she know that? Because I never said that, but I did. I thought about I should have been there with her.
No, she understands. She understands. And she's saying, I like Kevin anyways. She likes Kevin.
She really does.
Yeah.
He never liked cats until her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I love that. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry you had to go through that. It's a horrible time losing a pet. They are a member of our family for sure. And much love and respect to Miss Persia for telling me what she needed.
Yeah.
Yes. And you respected her decisions no matter how painful it was for you.
Yeah. Absolutely. So thank you. So yes, reach out to Kristi if you have any issues with your pets. Maybe you want to know what's going on with them. Maybe you just want to get to know your pet better. But reach out to her. And with that, we're going to go ahead and say goodbye. We love you. Thank you for tuning in today. Bye.